Good morning, everyone. It is a beautiful morning, July 11th, down here in southwest Ohio. Time for my weekly update, so let's see what we got. Alright, the hot pepper bed. I do have a volunteer tomato plant that's getting very big. Saw a deer walking around the back this morning. They're going to find this someday. I don't know if I'll ever get anything off of it. Okay, so this plant, that plant there, and that plant there are habanero. And so is this one. This one just decided not to grow. I do have some habaneros starting down there. And plenty of flowers on the tomato plant. And underneath the tomato plant is another habanero plant. Another volunteer tomato. Okay, you got this Peter pepper plant. I guess it's red. Finally got the first one starting to ripen. And not sure what these are. These might be the Jamaican. But I know they turn red also. Got the mole peppers. Still just a 3 on this plant. Guess that's all it can handle. Don't know what these are. They grow pretty different. It's really smooth. I need to go back and see what all varieties I had. I would have thought those were the Jamaican too, but I don't know. Looks like this one's turning out to be a Peter pepper. You can see it's kind of pinched on the tip there. And another volunteer tomato plant back there. And a whole bunch of pepper plants with no peppers. This one doesn't have any. Oh, this one does have one. Thinking that's ancho, I believe. And that one there doesn't have any peppers on it. And then the bell peppers. Bell peppers actually are doing pretty well over here. I just haven't put any peppers on yet. But these have been in here the longest and they're looking really good. The days are getting shorter, so these guys are getting less and less sun every day. That one might need to be tied up. Maybe I'll tie all these up today. Give them a little support. I think that's an habanero back there. Not really sure what these are. All I know is they're hot. This is that one plant that had branches growing up like different plants. You see the main stem going through here, and then the branches coming up. Pretty cool. Raspberries, hoping for a bunch of those come fall. The new growth looks really good. That's an habanero plant. I'm gonna have too many habaneros. That's an habanero. Price ain't gonna do much. This mole pepper got one huge pepper on it. That's it. Well, I guess this pepper plant's getting buried. I might as well just forget about him. He's gonna got pepper on it though. Okay, asparagus growing in that jungle of garbage. I apologize if the sun gets too bad. Turnips are dying off. Barely ate any of them. That's not good. I need to do a better job eating what I grow. I guess they're still good. I don't even know. I have a feeling that they probably just get too woody. So I don't know that they're even edible anymore. But I'll try some. Green onion. I need to start eating that. I don't know why it's browning on the top. I've never seen that before in the first year. Some kind of pepper plant here. It almost looks like maybe the ghost pepper. Had a red potato I need to harvest. I do that today. I did plant some sweet potato from the kitchen. That's starting to go bad. See if that amounts to anything. I think this is a bell pepper. This is an ancho. Not getting as many peppers as I expected on a lot of these plants. So, these pepper plants here, not really, I think that's a Peter pepper. The lettuce going to seed. That's kind of cool. The cayenne peppers, some of them turning red. Not sure what this little guy is. He's small. I got this pepper plant. I guess that's a Jamaican. It could be Scotch bonnet. Maybe these are the Scotch bonnets. I don't know. They're hot. That's all I know. And then this one, don't think it has any peppers on it yet, so can't tell you what that is. Got my carrot that sprouted up. I'm not sure what this one is either. It's the same as this one, I know that, but just don't know what they are. Okay, and I got, I'm not really sure what these are, but I got a lot of them. This guy's actually growing a lot of them, so that's pretty cool. Look at all those. This is another ancho. It's got some monster peppers on it. That one. Waiting for them to thicken up. A couple new potato plants here. Another sweet potato buried there. There's some potatoes there that need to be dug up. They're all red potatoes. All my potatoes are red. They're really the only ones I've gotten to grow. Here's a huge plant here. It is, I'm guessing, Scotch bonnets. Don't really know. But so many peppers. Hot peppers grow like weeds almost. I think this is a bell pepper in front of it. Another pepper plant. Not sure what that is. It's probably habanero. This is probably a bell pepper. Habanero, if I had to guess on that guy. Another sweet potato there. I got my beet growing here. Just not really bulbing out much. Got the cucamelon growing there. Would like to know if that's the kind of weed that you can eat. Personally, I think it's called. Maybe check on that someday. A batch of radish seeds maybe the birds won't get to. That would be nice. Okay. Got these raspberries. Looking good. Bunch of berries starting to grow on them. Some in the netting here, along with the carrots. Carrots are looking good. Don't know what's going on under there. No idea if this dirt's good for carrots. I did plant some carrots. Planted some here and some over there in the hot pepper plants. This tomato plant. I did planted more cucumbers in here, there and there, just yesterday, so they won't be up for a while. Got my first tomatoes turning color. I have thousands of those soon. And this pepper plant, look at that. My first two jalapenos. Those are eating size if we need them. Okay, kale's doing pretty well since I covered it up. And volunteer radish, never bulbed, already going to seed. Those are 2 habanero. Yes, I will have way too many habaneros this year. So this is either parsley or basil. Looking like basil from what I can tell. Had a hard time getting that to germinate. This is some slow bolting cilantro I bought. Going to bring that inside on the hot days because cilantro here I've never been able to grow. It goes straight to seed. I mean, this size here, and it would probably start going to seed. So leave this out here in the sun a few hours and bring it in. Got my eggplant, which now I have to decide whether to put this in the garden and try to get some this year, or just leave it in here for just total overwintering for next year, because I have the hardest time getting those to germinate in the winter. Swiss chard with the weed grown in it. And I got some more Swiss chard over here. Finally had a piece of that this morning. They're not getting very big here in the pot, but anything's better than nothing. And my pumpkin patch. This is going to be getting less and less sun every day. But cool looking. These are going to be little pumpkins. Starting to get some. Got one there, got one there. I think there was another one up here. Oh, no. And I got these pumpkins here. I don't know what they don't even look like pumpkins. I did have a seed I kept from last year. Maybe it mixed? I don't know. There's a bigger one of those somewhere. It gets over here. Yeah, that's a different kind. That's cool looking. Oh, it is. It's pretty cool. Actually had another one of those. It's there. I don't know where the other one went. The one's back here. Here's this one. I don't know what that is. Ain't a pumpkin. Honestly, kind of disappointing, but you can see they're growing pretty big. It's not getting a ton of pumpkins. And this was a volunteer one. Finally has something growing, starting, but I think that's pretty much the only thing. I don't know that I'll get anything off of that, but just letting it grow into the grass. Not sure how the neighbors love that, but you know, what do you do? It's my yard, right? They don't complain. I actually have really good neighbors. They all tolerate my gardening and whatever. Here's the cucumber patch, which is just, I mean, I'm picking 3-4 cucumbers a day. This is doing really well. I know that at any minute it can end, but there's just cucumbers everywhere. I'm trying to give it some water. I'll get that one today. Just they need water, need lots of water, and I got lots of them. So I may need to start watering this on a regular basis. Just everywhere. The zucchini plant. It's just stuck behind the maple tree and whatever this thing is. I thought it was milkweed, maybe it is. I don't know, these do not look like milkweed seed pods, so probably not. I don't know what those are. Kind of cool looking. Anyway, I've been getting 1 or 2 zucchini a day from here. Sorry, buddy. Got one starting there. I won't get any today. It's alright. Got 2 or 3 yesterday. Got the new one that survived the cucumber attack in the beginning. See what they did to the leaves. I guess it was the cucumber beetles. I don't even know. I just know I had a lot of cucumber beetles. I got some pepper plants, which are going to be taken over by the pumpkin soon, I think. And the green beans, which I'm not holding out much hope for. I actually found a rabbit inside this bird netting yesterday. I don't know how the damn thing got in there, but I think it was eating the Swiss chard. Volunteer tomato plant there. Don't know that I'll let that amount to anything. The monster pumpkin patch, which is turning out to actually be two different things. And it's starting to come way out into the yard. This thing's just enormous. I mean, look at this. Every flower is just loaded with bees. That's so awesome. Yeah, you hear that they're all dying, but I don't know what kind those are. But there's a lot of them. Anyway, glad we can find something to eat here. Here's my monster pumpkin. That thing is just getting bigger every day. You probably can't tell in the video how big it really is. This is going to be the biggest pumpkin I ever grew. God, that thing's enormous. So that's the one thing growing, and that might be the only pumpkin that I have. I'm pretty sure it is. Then I got this yellow thing. Hopefully I don't get stung, but I actually got one that started to grow. There it is back there. Can you see that? Don't know what it is, but I got one. And that one is actually starting. Hopefully it's really good, because it's starting to grow more. And here's more. You know, and this is growing in bad dirt. I'm kind of surprised that it's growing. Another bee. Just look at all the bees. They're everywhere. In every single flower. So pollination shouldn't be an issue. I think that might be all the yellow ones I have growing. That's pretty cool. It's pepper growing in there. It's going to be smothered out already. This pepper plant that the pumpkins caught up to. I'm not really sure. I think that's a bell pepper. Oh, look, my first bell pepper. Small guy, but it's a bell pepper. This one's definitely the ghost pepper, and it's somewhere in here. There's a little guy. Got the classic ghost pepper shape. So that's what that is. The ancho. Oh, look at that, my first bad spot. Let me get rid of that guy. Got some monsters on there. Cucamelon. I'm not showing you all my cucamelons because they're just everywhere. There it is. There's the cucamelon forest. That's so cool looking. Now, as cool looking as that is, when you try to harvest things and digging through all this, I'll miss some. I know I will. Yeah, there's a couple there already ready to harvest. But they're everywhere. A couple there. You're digging them to find for them. It can be a chore, especially when it's 90 degrees outside. They're not really growing much higher. And that vine got pretty high. That vine got pretty high. They stopped. Growing all over my dead lemon tree. With the jalapeno plants that are starting to look really good. I just gotta hope that the dirt isn't bad on there. I got a volunteer tomato plant there. With a few raspberries that are growing out. And I got this stupid vine. This vine grows everywhere. can't get rid of it. It's in the garden, in the yard. This is a butternut squash that's now growing out onto the patio. And as you can see, plenty of butternut. No bees though. I guess they have plenty of options elsewhere. Butternut there. Alright, take you on the inside and see if we can get around. Took out all the peas that were growing along here. They just weren't even edible. Got rid of them. This has got more cucamelons growing. This beefsteak tomato plant got some cucamelon growing in it. I don't know if that's hurting it because I don't think it really has any tomatoes yet. It's the only one that doesn't have tomatoes. So that's a bummer. This tomato plant is going to be the cherry tomatoes. I have way too many of them. I should get rid of it. I might cut it back. I don't want it ruining this beefsteak. Got some beefsteaks on there. I got this beefsteak tomato plant. Yeah, this one's got a whole batch of them here. Almost growing like cherry tomatoes. There's so many of them in that little batch. But not much other than that. Another beefsteak there. The Swiss chard. That's what the rabbit was munching on yesterday. You got it there. You got the little guy down there. Ugh, stupid rabbits. This beefsteak doesn't really have many on it yet. Well, not too bad, I guess. Get some down there. Need to tie this guy up pretty bad. This beefsteak with some more than I would have expected. And this plant I almost didn't even put out here, so. More of the butternut plant, which is going all the way over to here now with the butternut. I just hope I'm not ruining my tomato production for these butternuts. Oh, there's a big one. There's a big one. Yeah, I didn't even plant butternut, but I get it every year. I can't tell you the last time I planted it. Cherry tomatoes. Starting to get a bunch of them. As many flowers as I had in the beginning. See if I can get over there without ruining my butternut. Okay, and then this is another one that's got tomatoes. I'm gonna get out here and clip those brown plant leaves off. There's some of the yellow Swiss chard. Swiss chard out here had a rough start, but now it's passed up the one in the pot. So there's some more. Look at all those cucamelon vines. Maybe I got too many. They're good, but they're not great. Yeah, there's the tomatoes. Okay, I think that might be it for this week. This last week was a really big week for growth. It's getting hotter through here. We did get some rain, not a ton. I did water a little bit, especially the cucumbers. You know, I don't water too much because, yeah, I have really good draining soil. It actually does dry out kind of fast, but everything seems to be doing just fine. So anyway, thanks for stopping by and checking out this week, and I hope to see you all next week.